We did it.
I think so.
We think so. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, listen. Just a little background secret. We're letting y'all know about a little bit that we are using a different program today than we usually use. We're trying out something new here behind the scenes. Not that you guys are going to see a difference, which is great, but we're excited. It's Monday, guys. It's Monday. I'm Melody, and this is Nathan. We are here in
Hey.
the Caterpillar Studios. Bethany is with us from Nashville.
Hello, hello. I've got my morning coffee.
Oh my gosh, I was just telling Nathan I did a thing this weekend, which I've decided I'm probably too old to ever do again. So I snuck out of town late Friday night, came home bright and early yesterday morning, and I'm too old for that.
Fast weekend blitz.
I'm too old for a fast weekend trip. And it was for a birthday party. A dear friend of ours, Keisha and I went. They live in Iowa, so we snuck out to Iowa, which Cedar Rapids is lovely, but not easy to get to. So we had layovers and all of that stuff. But so it was a chore to get home yesterday. We had to leave super early, but it's okay. We made it. We got home. We're back in the groove of things on a Monday morning. And yeah, it's cold here though. It's raining.
It's getting cold. Yeah.
It's cold
Wet
and rainy
snow.
here too.
Is it?
Yeah,
See,
I'm not loving it.
I'm feeling like that's fine because finally it's cold and rainy for you as well as for us.
We're on the same wavelength for once.
For once, because most of the time we're like, it's so cold here, and you're like, oh, it's 75 degrees.
It's 90 degrees here.
Yeah. So anyway, welcome, guys. We're very excited. We wanted to pop back in this week a couple of times to just thank you guys for joining us. Our Fall Fest lives that we did a week ago.
Yep.
Was
Last
that a
week?
week
little
ago?
over a week ago.
Was that last week?
Week and a few days. Week and a half ago. Week ago Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday. So
Yeah. And some of the packages that we put together have had such great response, and we really appreciate that for you guys. We wanted to pop back in and talk about them a little more because they're our favorites.
if you're good too, one of the other things I wanted to share is Bethany's been doing some lives, which has been fantastic with the so-longs. And what I would like to do is just talk a little bit and bring Bethany into this and have her share some of her opinions and her thoughts with what they've been doing with part of the so-long. And then the other thing, Bethany, I'm curious to have you share some of the insights of how you've used some of the tools throughout your so-long. And I only say this because we only had limited kits, so not everybody gets to participate
Right.
with Bethany and Corey as part of the so-along. So I wanted to lightly talk about part of what that is, discuss some of the products that you then use, and we'll talk about the sales that we have because we have built out different bundles, not necessarily directly based on the so-long, but I just felt there was quite a bit of, there's a lot of hand raising that goes along in those so-longs. A lot of people ask questions about techniques and tips, and then ideally, what might that be when we use our tools as well? So we felt like that would be a great thing to share. A little bit of some snippets because those getting repurposed back online will be a little bit here. And she has 2 more this week to finish that out?
One more.
One more. So actually I spent some time this weekend getting caught up so that I'm ready to go for Wednesday. So I did finish one. So I have 2 of the kits so I can kind of work in stages throughout the sew-along. And I did finish one of them, and I obviously can't hold it out completely, but it's upside down. But it's a beautiful Christmas table runner, and I finished the binding. Look, Melody. Look how pretty
you did it. Oh my gosh, that looks so good.
It looks so good. And so this Wednesday is our part 3 of the sew-along, and we're going to go over quilting, which I did a really fun like crosshatch quilt design so that it looks kind of wrapped like a present. I thought it kind of gave that look. And I use a fun red thread on the front. And then we're going to go over how to quilt it and how to do the binding. And this binding is cut on the bias to give the plaid more of like a zigzag look, which adds some fun flair. So we've got a lot to cover on Wednesday. But as Nathan mentioned, we are sold out of this kit. But even if you missed out on the kit, I really encourage you to come and watch the sew along because we're sharing so many sewing and quilting tips and obviously how to use our products in different ways. But you're going to be able to take those tips and apply them to any quilting project or just get some inspiration for what you want to do next. And we also have another sew along happening in November with our Christmas tree quilt, another Riley Blake kit. And that one actually sold out over the weekend. So congrats to those who got one. We're really excited about it.
Yes, it did.
Corey's going to be joining us for that one as well. But I will say some of the products that we've highlighted so far, Nathan, to your point, is our flip and fold cutting mats. You'll see me use it every time we have a sew along, or pretty much anytime I'm sewing. I take this to sewing club with me. I love my flip and fold cutting mats. We used our clamps, which I have sitting right here behind me in front of my Christmas tree. They make good little presents, by the way.
They really do.
I decorated for this sew along. So even though Halloween is Friday, my studio's already decked out for Christmas. We use
totally
our flex sewing machine light. Corey was using that one heavily because he was in a different space in his normal studio. So he was limited light, and it really helped him be able to accomplish that. So we've used quite a few of our tools already, and we'll continue to use more to wrap up this sew along. So if you've missed any of it and you did get this kit, it is available to watch again over on our YouTube channel. So go back and watch them. And then we're going to do another one in just a few weeks. I can't believe we're starting a whole nother one in like
I know.
3 weeks. So
is it like 3 weeks? I don't even think it's 3 whole weeks. Is it 3 whole weeks?
And I'm trying to look around to see where my box is, but I think I put it in my sewing room because I need to cut one out and get started. So we've had a lot of fun. I really love the sew alongs. There's been some amazing questions. We've been talking about our special deals and everything as well. And everybody's been soaking it up. So, and by the way, Nathan, I don't know if you've gone over to our Facebook group, the Caterpillar Creations Hub Facebook group, but they've been posting their progress pictures along the way for the sew along.
Mine was wrong. I posted mine and it was wrong. And
well, I will say this, Melodee,
wrong.
I commend you for posting the mistake and showing how you're fixing it, because that's how we learn from each other. And we all make mistakes. So for you to take the picture and say, I made a mistake, but honestly, I liked how it looked. So, I mean,
this is the funny thing, funny story about it. When I was doing it and I realized that it was wrong, I sent a picture to Bethany. I was like, oh. And my dad, who is 89 years old, and my older sister were over right in there while I was doing it. And I was like, it was wrong. And my dad tried to, as encouraging as an 89-year-old guy could do, say, well, maybe you could leave it and just do the other ones the same way. And then I showed him the photo of what it was supposed to look like. And he was like, oh, yeah, no, you can't do that. And then I'm like, maybe I'll just leave 2 of them like this and 2 of them the right way. So I'll try to work it in. And then my sister picked it up and started unpicking my seams, like right then, to like force me to go back and do it right.
She was like, we're going to solve this.
She's like, I'm going to help you do it right. And so she, who's an English professor, so she's things have to be right. That's how she is. She's lovely. And that's how she is. That's what she just picked it up and started unpicking it for me. So it will be done right because it's now unpicked. So yeah.
And you've got to get caught up. We've got the final steps on Wednesday. So for those who are tuning into the sew along on Wednesday, quilt sandwich, quilting, and binding. And Corey will be back with us on Wednesday to wrap up the sew along. And by the way, he's doing the November sew along with us as well. And that one involves applique. So that one we'll be using our light boards a lot more to trace out our applique designs. And then I have some really fun ways to embellish applique in some unique ways. So I'm really excited about that. I'm on the hunt for little star buttons. Little star buttons.
Star buttons.
For the top of my Christmas trees.
Yeah, that'd be so cute. I also want to mention, there was a couple of questions on our Facebook page on the kits, the videos that we had out there about the kits, asking if they already have this kit from somewhere else, or do they have to have the kit to join along? And the answer is that you're welcome to join along no matter what. Whether you got the kit directly from us, we only had a limited quantity, but whether you got it from us, or you got it from somewhere else, come sew along with us, because then you can finish. Like, that's the whole thing for me. It's like there's actually finished projects happening, which is so great.
I mean, we're getting done with the Christmas project before Halloween.
Like,
we're so ahead of the game, guys. Look at us.
We're so ahead, which is so great.
I also really think this is an important part when you're coming to a sew along. Bethany, you mentioned part of this even just with posted pictures. Is one of the best things is you're just going to hear a couple different tips and tricks. You're going to find some insights that just apply across the board on several other projects. So this one, yes, we are going through the project, but the processes, the tips, the things that Bethany brings up, the things that we learn, you mentioned, Melodee, you posted something and we're like, hey, let me show you how we're going to rework this. Yeah, those are the things that probably you could put your hand up if you've been there, done that, probably so. Yeah. And so again, these sew alongs are really great to just to hear, to see also what are those other small things that come up as somebody's working through a project in order to help you nail that down, get a little bit more confident,
Yeah.
have more confidence. That's probably one of the biggest things that I know has happened time and time again as people do crafts. We're always so worried because it doesn't look as good as, or it's not as perfect, or it might not be as pretty. And to be honest with you, just getting something done so that you feel that you've been able to do that is one of the biggest wins. And then, by the way, we tend to see our mistakes a lot more than everybody else does.
For
And
sure.
I think it's what adds the character.
Yeah.
That's what makes each project unique to you. It's what makes it unique when you give it away or if you display it, if you're going to hold it for another year, whatever
Yeah.
that's going to be. So just come and join. They're fantastic to be a part of. Listen, learn,
Yeah.
watch, engage.
So fun.
And,
Yeah. I mean, that's why I say in our Sew Along Nathan every single time, because people are like, oh, my points don't look like yours. And I'm like, that's okay. Like, we're not going for perfection. We're going for completion because that's how we learn. And the more we practice, the better we get. And then I even point out my points that don't match up perfectly. And you just have to know what you're willing to kind of live with. There was one that I felt like I needed to unpick because it got really off. But the other ones, I was like, good enough, because it's a very busy project. And once you step back, and this is the rule, the galloping horse rule, if you're on a galloping horse and you're riding past your quilt, if you can't see the mistakes or the missed points, then nobody else is going to. It's just in the moment
like that.
looking at it really.
The galloping horse.
I like that a
How
lot.
fast is that horse? Because that means
Is it
pretty
like
much
a trot horse or a really fast
everything.
It
by the
doesn't
way,
matter.
What I'm hearing is everything's good.
Everything's fine.
Everything goes.
horse? Everything goes.
Give yourself
Which is
some
good, which
grace.
is very true.
Yes.
You know, this isn't a show project.
Yeah.
We're not
Well,
tucking
yeah,
in.
we're not trying to
Yeah.
win prizes with this stuff. We're getting
learning.
projects done.
We
We're
are.
learning. We're
We're
getting
learning.
things done. And it's this thing like we've talked about how many started projects we all have, work in progress. We have whips all over the place, right? And just to feel like you get one done because you're doing it along with all of our friends is amazing. So that's my favorite thing. So
it's the community part of it. You know, it's the getting to do it with others, whether you're brand new to quilting. I mean, for some people, our summer sew along and this sew along were their first 2 quilting projects ever. And they're not like very beginner friendly, but they're not super advanced, but they're bigger projects, right? There's more involved, but they're able to complete it because we're taking it one step at a time. And so being able to hold your hand and guide you through it and help answer your questions and then cheer you on in the Facebook group as you do it truly has been the best part of these sew alongs. So I hope you guys join us, whether you have the kit or not. Just come and watch and take notes. You'll learn a lot, and then we'll see a whole nother group of you guys who got the next kit that we're doing in November, the Christmas tree quilt, and that's our bigger quilt project. We've done 2 table runners. Now we're going big. So that one's actually a 4-part series.
Yeah, it kind of looks, the trees on the quilt kit that we're going to be doing kind of look like the ones hanging up behind you.
They kind of do. I'm on brand.
You're right on there. That's what we're doing. Yeah. So we're excited for that.
So again, thank you, Bethany, for sharing that. I know that there's been a lot of things we'd recommend going and watching that. So if you go to the YouTube channels, what you're going to find out is there's an option for live. And that's where we do the live videos. That's where those live. And we'll end up repurposing some of those things. But again, if you're joining us and you're with us, you want to watch part of what has been happening during the sew-alongs, pick up the tips and tricks, you're going to want to go to our YouTube channels. We have those at Caterpillar, and that's Cutter. And then our last part of that name is Pillar, so Caterpillar. And our other one that you'll notice, and we've been branding with as part of the brand, is Nook and Notions. Mm-hmm. So you can find Nook and Notions and Caterpillar. Again, you're going to look at, when you look at videos, there's a live option. Not a lot of people know that. It's just not in the standard videos. It's under live, and that's where we host the live videos. That's where this one would reside as well. You can go back and rewatch those, and that would be my recommendations. Take a look at that. Take a look at that this evening. Take a look at that tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's one of those things. And that series will be wrapped up, it sounds like, Bethany, on Wednesday with what you're going to be doing, some binding.
Quilting and binding. We're just wrapping it all up.
Gotcha.
Like a pretty present. We're wrapping it up. We've made our quilt top. Now we're making our sandwich. We're deciding how we're going to quilt it. Corey's going to show you some fun ways. I'm going to show you mine. I've quilted both because I have 2 kits. I've quilted both of mine differently so you can see some variances. And then I'm going to teach you how to cut binding on the bias, like how to cut binding on the bias to get a fun new look. This is also a great tip for cutting binding if you're going to do curved, scalloped or curved binding. So we're going to go over all of that on Wednesday. So we have a lot to cover to wrap up, and then you guys can finish up and be done before Halloween. And then I don't know about you guys, but November 1st is time to decorate for Christmas, right?
Yeah,
Melanie?
no, yeah, you're right. November 1st is the time. I got another tree done last week. So
She's
I'm
ahead
at,
of the game.
Tree,
I have
tree
one,
number,
two,
what out of
I have,
what?
wait, what do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 done so far.
Out of
17 is the plan. We'll see if I get that far.
Okay.
17 was the plan, but I've got 5 so far. I'm behind schedule because I keep going out of town.
Can I
But-
make a request, Melody?
Yes, sir.
No.
ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
When you get all 17 done, can you just post a photo of all 17 and a post in our Facebook group?
Yeah.
And the caterpillar, because we've heard you talk about these
I
trees
know.
for years, and I haven't seen
All
them,
year. I know.
and I want to
you
see
see
them.
You see a couple of them sometimes in our meetings because
And I'm sure they all have
taking
different
meetings from
themes.
home, they do. They all have different themes. They all have different themes. Yeah.
I need some inspo. Because
Okay.
I've had the same theme for mine for years. I've got 3. You've got
Yeah.
17. So maybe some of yours can give me some
Well,
inspiration to revamp.
Last year I had 12, and I have plans for a few more this year. Whether I get all the way to 17 this year or not still remains to be seen, because it's funny. I was remembering last year while the trick-or-treaters were coming to our house on Halloween, I had all but 2 done, I think, because I just didn't do the dining room. I usually wait to do the one in the dining room until after Thanksgiving in case I'm hosting Thanksgiving. And so that one wasn't done yet. And my husband's Star Trek tree wasn't done yet. But the foyer was all decked out in Christmas as the kids were coming up to trick or treat, and they thought we were crazy. Now the porch is still Halloween. I'm not allowed to touch the porch until November 1st. That stays Halloween until November 1st. That's the rules. That's the only rule my husband gives me.
Leave Halloween until Halloween is over.
Diane wants to know, do you have them all in the same room?
No, Diane, I do not. I do not have them all in the
question.
same room. I do not have them all in the same room. And I only count them if they're 3 or 4 feet or taller. 3 feet or taller, then I count them as one of the 17. If you ask my husband, I actually did like 147 because there's little trees all over the house. On all the shelves and all the things. He counted that, but I don't decorate those. Those are like the little like bottle brick trees.
Bethany, I'm with you
on.
on this one. Shifty eyes a little bit like that's pretty excessive. That's pretty excessive.
It's
fun. That's good to be there.
I mean,
there.
I will never yuck your yum. So
I love it.
Melody.
I love it, and like just personally, guys, like it makes my mother smile, who passed a year and a half ago. She loved it. She had Alzheimer's. And when I started doing extra trees, she used to come up and just sit in the room and just stare at them. And so they're for
now
her.
you can't stop.
There you go.
Yeah, they're for her. So
lovely.
And for me. And
So
everyone thinks I'm a little
I'm with Bethany.
It's fine.
You've got it. You'll have to take some pictures.
I will.
In fact, I don't know. I don't think you should wait. I think you should, once you start completing
Progress
them,
pics.
let's put them in. Let's see what
Yeah.
those are. And I only say that because Bethany, you start talking about some inspiration.
Yeah.
I know not a lot of people do trees until really probably after Thanksgiving or around that same time. However, now's the time, if you're going to be thinking about the decorations, to look at what that is online. You've got Black Friday specials that happen in November, amongst other things. So I would say, hey, sure.
Yeah, I want to go ahead and see the 5 you have done.
Okay.
And then post them as you go.
Listen, the only problem with me doing that is there is Christmas decoration bins staging all over my house right now.
You just slightly scoot to the side, snap.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Slightly.
Just a
And even if
close-up
you have
shot.
bins, there's nothing wrong with you showing this is
it's
in the process.
We know. It's a process.
It's a process, and it's been there longer than it should be there, and everyone's getting tired of it. But they're sucking it up for me. They're awesome. They're just like, okay. My son was like, "Do you need to put one in my room? Like, do you have to do another one?" And I was like, "Maybe. We'll see. Maybe."
He doesn't have one in his room. I figured every room had one.
He doesn't have one in his room. He's 26. He doesn't care. And he keeps his door shut most of the time, so I don't get to see it. So it's not like I'm going to waste my time doing that if he doesn't want one in there. So, but yeah, we put them on the kitchen table. We put them in the dining room. We put them in my bedroom. My bedroom has them. My sitting room has them. The living room has them. The foyer has them. The porch has them.
Your new sewing studio needs one.
It does. It has a little one. I have a little one in there right now. Because of the sew along that we were doing, I did put a little one in there. And that's decorated a little bit, but there's some space. I noticed like there's some space to the left of my new sewing. I put a whole thing right there. So
I put one in my sewing room every year. And then I will dim the lights and just sew with the glow of my machine and my Christmas tree. And it really sets the mood and it makes it
really, it really does. And I will tell you, with all of the funny about how I do it, and everyone teases me and I'm totally fine with that. It's really great. The one I put up in the living room is like the dedication to my mom one, because when we were growing up, we always had a silver tree with like blue and silver balls on it, like a white tree with blue and silver balls. And so I do one for her with blue and white and silver on it every year. And so that one's up already, and he's making fun of me a lot. But when he wakes up earlier than me. When I wake up and I go in the living room and say good morning to him, those lights are on.
Yeah.
He's got those lights on.
He's turned them on.
He's setting the mood in the room. So those lights are on.
He
So
may give you a hard time, but he still appreciates it.
he loves it. Yes,
Yeah.
he does love it. So anyway, yes. That's our fun, like, chitty chatty. We appreciate you guys
Yeah.
hanging out with us while we're doing that.
Get
But we
you in the
wanted to
Christmas
talk
spirit early.
Christmas spirit early. And with that, we want to talk a little about our Fall Fest packages that we have on special right now, because some of these are really great to stock up on things for Christmas gifts. I know it's a little bit early, but it's not terribly early. We want to talk about our applique package. First of all, we want to talk about that today. Going into our next sew along, if you don't already have some of this stuff, this would be really great to get, because like Bethany mentioned, we're going to be doing some applique on our next sew along project next month. So that would be really great. And then we're going to talk about our all-in package, which if you don't have all of our stuff, and if you have some of our stuff, with our all-in package, if you have some of our stuff already, this is a great time to get that package, because the other things could be for gifts, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you already have a clamp light, or you already have a mini and you wanted the ultra or whatever, you can use the other ones for gifts for friends or family, because that holiday season's coming right up.
The more you bundle together, the better the deal you're going to get anyways. And then we have our Fall Fest sale going on, which I know we're going to talk all about.
And I left my fat quarter bundle bag in the other room.
I'll go grab that really quick. Let's do this. If we can bring up on the side, Eric, let's bring up the package that we're going to be selling. Let's go ahead and bring up the actual QR code so that they can see this on part of the applique package. And then I'll talk about what this is. And right now what you're seeing is we also put together a page that everybody can understand, where you can access this through going to Caterpillar.com and clicking on the first option. What you're going to see is, let's just do this really quick as well. Let's find out.
Yes, our new system is so
here. Let's do that.
There we go. There we go.
Still not necessarily ideal,
right.
but there we go.
There we go.
That's where we're at.
Yeah.
Let's see if that might help us even a little bit better. No. Okay.
But
what we're going to do is, if you go to our main website, so go to Caterpillar.com, click on Fall Festival, it's going to bring you here. And what we've put together is, as you scroll through, we do have the different type of packages. We have an embroidery package. Right now, one of the things we're going to talk about, and we have a travel one. We've got the applique version, sewist package, all in. I'm guessing this one might be the applique. We'll have to look at that.
That's the mini travel.
I have two travels. So
paper crafting travel, and then the mini travel. The applique, I don't know. Is it?
Where's our applique? There you
There
go,
it is.
applique. And then you can take a look. There's a video here where we've also did a demonstration where you can come back and take a look at this here later on as well, and see what that is and find a little bit more. We're going to do some of this right now today, but as part of this applique package, let me just pull that up. This is our applique package that we have right now. And these are the items that are in there. Let's just quickly clear the items. Beth, let's do this, Melody. Let's pull up the items so they can see what's in here. And then we're going to show you how these work. So that's one of the important things that we're wanting to help you see, is what are the different items, how does it work, and how can you best use those. And let's do that. Let's go ahead and just go and have you just share with us, Melody, what those are.
Will you do me a favor? Over here down on that shelf is the glass mat. We've got that
There
one.
you
So
go.
we've got
Glass mat.
we've got our Glow Premium 2 light board. We've got our glass mat. We've got our clear cutting mat, and we've got our magnets included in this bundle. So let me just show you. First of all, we've got our Glow Premium 2 light board, which is one of our favorites. But all of our light boards have multiple light settings. So if you can see that, sometimes it's hard with the studio lights to tell that this kind of goes dim. So you can see that dims. So you can adjust that light level depending on what you're working on. I end up having to do my crafting in the middle of the night. And because of that, I don't need my lights on all the way. I don't need my light board on all of the way, because there's no natural light coming in. So I'm able to dim it down when I need it. But when you've got this, it is so great. You can do all of your pattern tracing on here. So I'm going to pull out my applique pattern here really quick. I have here one of my laser cut quilt patterns. Now, when you're doing applique, depending on what you're working on, sometimes you're going to trace it and sometimes you're not going to trace it, right? It just depends on what kind of a pattern you've got. But if you've got patterns that are double-sided, I always trace them because the double side always kind of gets in the way. But with this, you can see right through there, right? So you can trace your patterns whenever you need to. Now, so that's the first thing that these light boards will do, which is really great. The second thing that these light boards will do, they come with your self-healing cutting mat. Now, the self-healing cutting mat that comes with it is a typical gridded mat that's translucent. But what our mats have that are different than others is they are textured. So there is texture on the back and there's texture on the top. Now, the texture on the back will keep it from slipping around. So it doesn't slide around when you are cutting on it. And the texture on the top helps keep your fabric in place.
Yeah, and maybe if I'll clarify what the texture is, it's a non-slip component. So what we do is we print over the grids themselves with a non-slip material. So what that does is it adds a little bit of this stickiness to keep the mats in place and to keep the fabric in place, because ours are dual-sided. One, no other mats have this non-slip. Doesn't exist because nobody's putting these and combining with light boards.
Right.
Number two is nobody has them on the top. And so what we've done is we have these dual grip spaces, top and bottom, keeping the mat in place. Number two, keeping your fabric in place as well.
Yes. Now, this is the thing that's so great when you're cutting your fabric out. If you'll flip it back to that top camera. So let's say you're doing a piece of a pattern. You're doing something with a template. You're doing something. Normally, you're doing that. You're cutting it out like this and hoping you're getting it into the place you want it to be. But when you do it on the light board, you can see that piece right through there. This is a dark navy fabric. Like, this is pretty dark without the light.
Yeah,
It's pretty dark fabric. Like that's,
by the way, so
pretty
again,
dark.
we're talking dark. Definitely, we're not seeing through this.
you're not seeing through that
Not even
normally.
close.
You're not seeing through that normally.
In fact, turn the light board off. Let's show them what that looks like again. So this is what this looks like, by the way, when it's off.
Yeah.
Now you can't see
So
through
you
that.
can't see
Not
through
even
that. So
close.
usually you're doing it this way when you're cutting it out and you're folding it over, you're pressing it, you're doing whatever. You're trying to hopefully get it in the design in the center like where you want when you're doing your fussy cutting. But when you're doing it this way and you've got that light board,
look at the difference. This is going to make huge difference.
Look at that. Look at that. So then you can go by and you can easily line that up and you can cut that piece. You can fussy cut that piece right on top of your light because of that. I mean, you've got your 1/4 inch right there. Boom, done. It's exactly where you want it to be. You can see exactly what you're doing, which is so, so great. It's so great. For
Yeah,
this.
I think this is one of the game changers, is where the pattern on the fabric now can be specifically aligned with the piece without you trying
Exactly.
to flip it to make sure, pin it, fold it over. And in fact, I would be curious to know, anybody who's with us, how have you done this in the past? What are your processes?
Yeah.
I know a lot of them add some adhesive on the back of the paper so that they can flip it, fold it, check it, and then unpill it and undo it. Just, you
don't have to do all that.
Not needing to be done. There we go.
Not needing to be done. See, you can do all that. Now, so that's how you kind of use this. And then like even let's say your fabric is super thick. You can't even see through that, right? But you need to trim it down. The lines, the light will shine through your ruler. So I'm going to dim this a little bit because it's so bright you're not seeing the grid lines on the map very well. But when you can line that up, you can see if your lines are exactly on or not. So you can make sure that when you square your pieces up, you can line up your ruler lines on both sides of your piece of fabric, and you can make sure that you're accurate. This is how you get things more square, is you square it up on top of your light. Talking about our sew-alongs that we're working on, those blocks, you can square those up on the light, and then you can make sure that you're cutting straight because you can see through that. Now, that's just for like typical cutting or whatever. We were talking about this is our applique bundle, and there's a good reason for it being our applique bundle. So we have in this applique bundle, we have our other glass or our other cutting mat.
Here, let's do this really quick. Let's grab the other one. Let's hold that up. Let's do a top down so everyone kind of see this. So we have two different mats. We're going to put these side by side here. We just want you to look at this. This is the gridded. Again, has the dual grip surface. This also has dual grip surface, but what you'll see quite differently is the clear one has the entire center area without any of the grids there.
Yep.
So what you end up with is this one comes standard with the light board. So we end up bringing this one that comes standard with all the light boards. This is one that now is included in this applique, and you'll see exactly why this is going to make such a difference to the applique.
Yeah.
So,
So when you've got this mat included in your applique, you can set your pattern underneath so it's lit, and you can set your cutting mat right on top. So when you are doing now this is a laser cut quilt kit. So these pieces are actually technically already cut for you when you get the kit. But if you're doing it and they're not already cut for you, I'm going to brighten that up just a smidge again because you can adjust that. Now I can see those lines even through the dark fabric. I can see them. Lighter fabric, obviously, you're going to see them a little bit better. I'm going to pull this fabric up. Also, just so you can see most fabrics, you're going to see a little bit better. But then if I want to go cut these pieces out right on top of here, oh my gosh, it's so hard to see. It's so bright.
Oh, you're good. Let's just do this.
Oh yeah, we did the little tricky thing.
This little last time. Maybe not.
Anyway.
Turn down your light a little bit, maybe. Because it's just so bright, it's hard to see this.
Bright.
There you go. One more.
There we go. So you can see that through there. So you can do your cutting out right on top of your cutting mat because your pattern's underneath, your cutting's right on here. You can do those cuttings right on top of here if you want. So if you do foundation paper piecing, anything like that, this is really great for that because you can set your pattern underneath and you can set your project on top.
Hey, Melody, I pulled out our kit for November.
Great.
With the template, and I have my premium here, and I pulled out the fabrics that come with it just so people can see and kind of get an idea of what to expect.
Yes.
And I don't have a non-gridded mat, Melody, so I'm using the gridded mat that comes with it.
Which you can, yeah.
And you can see it through the darker greens. So this is our little Christmas tree template that we're going to be making. How cute is that?
How cute is that?
And these fabrics are just adorable. And so we're going to be tracing out these Christmas trees and everything. So it's just really, really fun. And honestly, if you're doing this sew along with us, it's the best way to be able to make this project, this applique project. And even if you're not doing the sew along, but appliques always interest you and you're like, I don't even know where to get started. I don't know what to do. What do I need? This sew along is going to be for you to come and learn and take notes. And then you can apply it to just about anything. I love putting applique on things. It's such a fun way to kind of embellish things or add some texture and just really play and have fun with it without doing embroidery. So as you can see, I can still see my applique, and I have mine turned down because again, I'm on camera. If I had it full blast, you wouldn't be able to see it, just like Melodee's, because it's so bright and with my studio lights. But it's just a great tool to be able to do this applique. So this is that little Christmas tree one we're going to be doing. I'm so now that I've pulled it out, I'm like, oh, I want to start tracing and cutting now.
I know. See, you've got to do that. Well, you finished your other ones, but we've got to finish the first sew along, and then that's our next one. But they're going to be so cute. That is
one
such
at
a
a
cute
time.
Project. We're so excited for that.
Yeah. I just had to hop on real quick and show you this.
No, I
I'll let you guys
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's bring back up that QR code too. I just want to explain when you guys see this online and you see the QR code, feel free, because sometimes you're watching on a computer, sometimes you're on your phone. This is just going to take you directly into that package where you'll be able to get it at the special sales price that we have going on.
Yep.
And you can already see that it's on sale as a discount. And then we're including a couple other things inside of these packages that we mentioned.
Yes.
That also now have been included.
Yes.
And we'll go through the rest of this, but we'll be talking about and we'll be introducing the fat quarter bundle bags here in just a minute. But that's one of the other things we'll look at as well.
We're going to show you that too. Yeah.
Just so you know, take a look at the QR code, access that, put it in the cart, makes it easier for you to check out.
Yeah. So the other piece that comes with it is our tempered glass mat. Now I love this item. This is one of my very favorite items of what we have. Even though I love all the items that we have, I love the tempered glass so much. This is a great general crafting mat.
Let's do this really quick because I'm not sure if they saw what we did.
What I did,
because it looks like it's just one of the other mats that are there. So let's just kind of talk about Lightboard. Then she had her pattern. So she put her pattern down and then show this a little bit. So really quick, this is a complete different piece. So again, normally we've already talked about the cutting, the self-healing cutting mat.
Yep.
We're not talking about that. What she now put down over that is this cutting glass surface. So I just want everybody to see what we're working with because this is not the standard mat. This is one of the additional options that comes in this kit that transforms literally the way we use these surfaces have been built so that they work together. And it's because as we go through some of these different steps, you're going to need the different tools.
Right.
Before we were cutting.
Right.
So we were aligning.
We're cutting right on the light.
The light helped us line up rulers to edges. It aligned paper to fabric and patterns for us in order to make those exactly like we did.
Yes.
Bethany was showing us in the next kits a way and how this is going to be used in order to make it faster to trim and to get those applique pieces out of the fabrics you have.
Yep.
And now we're done with that process. And so now what would we state that this process is? And so
now
then why
after
are we
your pieces, after your pieces are cut, now you've got to, you're doing applique. So now you've got to press them together, right? Now, this is where the glass mat comes in super handy because you can actually lay your pieces out on top of your light, on top of your glass mat. Now, I need to brighten it up so I can see a little bit better. But I can see exactly where these go. And I can set it here and I can iron directly on top of my light. I can press these pieces together with the fusible right on top of this glass mat. Now you have to have to have the glass mat on the light board if you're going to do any sort of heat, if you're going to do any sort of pressing. You have to have that light board on here. Or you have to have that glass mat on the light board. Do not try to iron without the glass mat, but with it, you can put heat directly
Let
on
me
it.
ask this question. So obviously that's one of those. Why can we iron on the glass mat? What makes that possible?
Yes.
And then how does this change the way people normally would be doing this in the past? So what is the differentiation? So one, tell me a little bit about the glass mat. Why is that possible? And how does that make something like this available versus what you would have done in the past? And then how does this change the way people can finish their projects with it?
So the glass mat is a tempered glass mat. It's treated same way like a glass stovetop is treated. So and it's super, super durable, like your inside your refrigerator shelves are just that durable. Like it's that strong of glass, and it's also heat treated. So it will take the heat of an iron. It's also a great general crafting mat. It won't scratch. If you do paints or inks or glues, or you do if you do watercolors, you can use it as a paint palette. If you do every time I hot glue anything for any reason, I do it on top of the glass mat, because when that glue drips, I can scrape it off the glass mat and it's not going to hurt the glass.
You can use a laser. You can use a razor on the top edge.
You can scrape it right off, and it won't scratch. Your grid is on the back side, so it won't scrape off. And you can use that razor blade, and you can clean it up
quite
really
different.
easily.
And then because of this, it can take the heat of an iron like a stove can at any temperature. So the heat will not affect the glass mat at all. And then again, now this changes the way people finish doing part of their application. What does this now make it easier to do or faster to do?
So this is the thing. If you want to go on that top camera, if I was doing this applique piece and I didn't have that light coming through where I could see it, I would be setting it down on here, and I would be having to look at the thing to make sure that I'm setting things in the right thing all the time, right? And then once they're all set, I have to carefully pick it up, and I have to move it without any of the pieces falling off to my ironing surface in order to get it to stick. You don't have to do that anymore. You can do it all right here, right on top of your light, because when you have that light shining behind you, you can line these pieces up, and with the glass mat, you can iron directly on top of this, which is just amazing. It is so great. I love it. I love it so, so much. So the other piece that's included in this bundle is our magnets. They sort of can magnetize through the glass, but not great through the glass, because that's a little bit too far away from it. So when you are tracing your patterns out on top of your light board, you can use these magnets to hold it down. And the thing that's so great about these magnets holding it down is how many times are we starting our project, we're starting to do our tracing, the phone rings, someone comes to the door, the kid needs something, the dog threw up, whatever it is, and you have to leave and come back and reset it all the time. Now you don't have to reset it. What you used to be tracing, you would be tracing and you would move a little. You have to keep moving it and set it and set it and set it. And now you don't have to, because the magnets will hold it all down.
And what's great about this is particularly on our newer light boards, what you're going to find out is on the Classic, the Gold Classic, and the Premium 2, you're going to find that they are built in. And so these magnets have a space where they can then stick to the top of the board, because
and
magnets are inside
all
of it.
along the edges. The magnets are along the edges, and then there's a row across the middle. So they're almost the entire surface is covered. Not all of it exactly, but you can see exactly where it's covered.
And then in addition, if you want, we also have just the still plates that you can get. Some people like to put those as additional parts that you can move underneath the glass, or you can move them underneath part of the cutting pads. You can do other things with those. Or if you can accessorize anything that you already have that doesn't have the ability to stick magnets to it, you can get those plates as well. But these do come with that. These do come with that built in as it should be. So it's all good. Just
like Linda mentioned, you don't have to tape anything down. You don't have to take your pattern to your sliding glass door anymore. You don't have to stick a flashlight under your coffee table anymore. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You can stay in your sewing room. You can sit in front of the TV and work on these kinds of projects, because this light board that's included in the applique package is our Premium 2, which means it is also portable.
Here, let's just do it top down because they can see what we just did again. So
let's take that off.
Here's the light board itself.
So it is not plugged in right now. You can either use it plugged in or not.
There you go.
We'll plug it back in. You can use it on the cord with all of the, right? Or you can unplug it and you can use it that way. So this is the one that I tell the story a lot, that I sit on Sunday afternoons in front of the TV watching football, because my husband loves the NFL, and we lose him completely on Sundays because that's what he's doing. But now I can be in there with him and I can pretend I care about the games. And I just got to
incognito
woohoo at the right time, but I can keep working on my projects. So you can do all of that stuff. So and then the magnets help hold it on. You can set it on your lap. It's a perfect size for your lap. It's 13 by 19 inches. It's the perfect size for most projects.
Yep. I'm gonna do a top down so we can kind of just see this.
Yep.
This is super thin.
Super thin, super lightweight.
Those magnets work amazing, just sticking on there. Again, the whole back has steel plates built into the majority of the surface.
Yep.
Which makes that very easy to use.
Yeah. And guys, that's our applique package that we have on special. The QR code, we'll pop that back up again, or you can go directly to caterpillar.com and click the Fall Fest page and you'll find it there. But there's another thing that comes with this bundle. So these are the Caterpillar products that come in the bundle, but we also have with this, we have free fat quarter bundle bags that come with it. I love these so much. Okay. This is our fat quarter bundle bag.
Now let's just quickly give everybody a snapshot of this. Some of you might have seen this here a little bit ago. This particular bag is one that we decided as you were looking at partnering with a kit like this to help people in and as they move around, as they want to organize, whether they're in transportation or this is in their room or they're going to work on projects in another area.
Yep.
This was the idea, is to take it and help you take your fabrics or other parts of the things that you need to bring around with your fabrics. We have a couple things with, threads and others.
Yep.
But this is the fat quarter bundle bag.
This is the fat quarter bundle bag. So this holds your fat quarter bundles so nicely. It's got little seat belts, so it'll seat belt your fabric bundles in. It'll hold them all in nice and tight. And then it's really boxy. See how that's really boxy? So your fat quarter bundles will fit right in there. Now, can you put other things in here? Yes, of course you can. You can fold your fabric up and set it in here. You can bring your boxes of thread with you. It also has a little pocket here where you can travel with your pieces. You can slide that up. You can put it's a see-through pocket, so you can put your other pieces in here, zip that right up, take this with you. It's a great project bag. So you can have your patterns in here. You can have everything that you're working on. You can go to sewing club like Bethany does all the time. You can take it with you outside of your sewing room. You can take it to a class. You can take it wherever. But this little bag, you get, I can't see that very well. Is it 2 free with this or is it 3 free with this?
Let's take a look. Let's bring this up.
Bring it up. But you get
here.
free fat quarter bundle bags.
Here we
They
are.
are such great gifts as well, you guys. Super, super great gifts for the holidays. So if you're getting your applique package because you want the applique package, but you need some project.
I think we're doing 2.
Two
with
fat
this.
quarter.
Yeah,
That's what I
we're
thought.
gonna
It was
do
2 fat quarter bundle bags with this. Then you can give you can keep one for yourself. You can keep them both for yourself. I'm never mad about that. Or you can give one away, or you can give both away. But they're great little presents as well because it's about, I don't know, 15 inches by 8 inches. So it's a really great for projects and everything like that. You can take this fat quarter bundles with you.
So this is what's included. You end up with the light board. You end up with the glass mat, the magnets. We add the additional non-gridded cutting mat as well. And then we're including 2 of the fat quarter bundle bags at no additional cost. That just get
Fabric's not included. That's my fat quarter bundles that
Fabric's not
I
included.
had to get in fights to get when I was down in Houston. Not really fights.
There you go. But it's also using the premium 2. So it's the power cordless whiteboard. There's a picture kind of that you can see that glass plate on top of it. There's the magnets that can be used. Again, this is a complete game changer.
Yeah.
When it comes to how you actually can prep and work through your applique. On sale with everything that's included, it's a little over a 30% discount. So you're saving just under $140
really
on
great.
part of this kit when you buy into that.
Yep. It's really great. So free fat quarter bundle bags with it. Now we also, guys, have fat quarter bundle bags on sale on that Fall Fest page. You can find them there as well. Secretly, since you joined us live, I'll let you know that if you put 2 fat quarter bundle bags in your carts, one of them is free.
There you go. So it's kind of buy one, get one free.
Buy one, get one free for the fat
Here's
quarter
what you got
bundle
on
bags
fat
right now.
Fat quarter bundle bags.
So that's great to stock up on them for Christmas gifts. There's no limit to them. So every 2 you put in, you get one free. So you can get 4, you can get 8, whatever. But they're really great for Christmas presents for crafty friends. They're super good for project bags. They're super good for traveling. They're super good for all that. We use them as supply bags when I travel to shows all the time. We have all of our supplies in these bags and we carry them around because they're super great. They're padded. They also have a little tab on the back so you can slide this onto a rolly cart or to a suitcase. And they come with the shoulder strap. It's padded shoulder strap as well as the briefcase handle. So however you need to carry it, you can. And yes, your fat quarter bundle bag would make a great prize for the raffle.
There you go. It absolutely would be. And then I want to come back and ask just Bethany really quick what her thoughts might be two things. One is in the past, what her thoughts are on these products, and then as part of the prep, also for November, we've got a sew along. How might these tools come together to make it easier for the people to utilize this when they are doing the applique?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, the light board for tracing your applique pieces is an absolute must. I mean, I don't know how else you're going to do it, unless you're trying to tape it to a window and hope you have a sunny day.
Right.
But I'm a late night sewer, so that's not really an option for me. And so I prefer to just have everything done right here on my table with my light board. And then, as Melodee was demonstrating with the glass mat, I mean, the crispy press that you get with a glass mat is unbeatable. We're used to having pressing mats that have squish, but when you're doing applique, you want everything to adhere very well and very flat to your fabric and to your materials, and so that they don't move and shift. So we are
Right.
going to use like a double-sided fusible heat and bond kind of sort of thing to secure our cutout trees to our quilt top, and then stitch them down. And we need to have our light board to be able to, one, trace those so we can cut them out, and two, to be able to securely press them to our materials. So these are the top two products that we'll be using amongst others for our November sew along. And if you've ever done applique and you're like, I found it really frustrating, I found it hard to see things, I couldn't use darker fabrics, whatever the case may be, these products solve those problems so that you actually enjoy doing applique and you're more accurate with your applique. You're getting your placement correctly. You're getting it to look exactly like you want. So if applique interests you, whether you have the kit to sew along or not, and by the way, this is the kit that we're doing in November. This one right here that I was showing the fabrics of. It's such a fun one. All of these Christmas trees are appliqued on. They're not pieced, they're applique. So
I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited for that.
So much fun. But honestly, the only reason we're going to have so much fun making all of these applique trees is with our light boards and our glass mats, because they truly make the process easier, more efficient, more accurate, with a better result at the end. And that's what we're going for, right? So come join me in November.
Yeah, join us. And, you know, we mentioned it earlier, but we had some questions on our Facebook page about joining our sew alongs, whether they got the kit from somewhere else. You're still more than welcome to join. Whether you don't have the kit at all, you're still welcome to join, because there's lots of tips and tricks that Bethany teaches me on the sew alongs. And we have Corey from Linda's Quilters that's going to join us as well. They are sold out, Diane. We have sold the kits out, but you are more than welcome to join still. And you may find a kit somewhere else. I mean, we just had a limited quantity for us to be able to sell them. But like I said, we had people on our Facebook page ask if they got the kit somewhere else. Is it okay if they come? It's live on our YouTube channel and our social media platforms. So yes, we would love for you all to join anytime.
Us doing those sew alongs is more than just showing you how to use our products. It's building our community and you getting value out of our content outside of just our products, but also learning to sew, because that's how you're going to continue to grow your skills and use our products along with it. Right. So please, if you didn't get the kit, please come. Are the trees hand appliqued or fused? We're going to be doing fused, because I don't hand sew anything, because I don't have time to hand sew. I don't even 5, 10, 15, 25 Christmas trees. Yeah, no, we're going to be fusing and then stitching those down. If you prefer to hand applique, please go for it. But our method is going to be a fuse. So great question, Linda. But please join our sew along. And whether you have the Premium 2 light board that we were talking about in the applique bundle, or if you have one of our other light boards, it doesn't matter. If you already have a light board but you don't have the glass mat, get the glass mat. You can't go wrong. You're going to want these two tools in your kit for next month's sew along. So,
or even the clear cutting mats.
I want a clear cutting mat now.
I can't believe you don't have one.
No, I literally have everything else but that. All
right, we're slackers then somehow. Somehow we're a slacker, but
it's okay. I'll forgive you this one time.
Yeah, Linda, I don't hand sew either, so I'm saying yay as well. We're pretty excited about not hand sewing these. My mother always hand sewed. She always hand embroidered her tops, and she hand quilted. She always had quilt frames up in my house growing up. She was always hand quilting everything, and she would hand sew the bindings on too.
I I get it. And I appreciate those who do. And I think it's definitely, there's a place for it.
Yeah.
We work full time and I have to make 2 of these in the same amount of time that you guys make one. So we machine everything because, we have a machine. Let's learn to use it in different ways. But if you like the hand sewn look, go for it. But there's some really cool ways to get more of that hand sewn look. But when you use a machine for applique, it also opens up a lot of decorative stitches and other things that you probably wouldn't be able to do by hand sewing. So I have some really fun things that I'm excited to show you. I love applique, and there's not a type of applique I haven't tried. I've even done the hand sewn applique before, and I think that's all great options. But we're gonna do a machine sewed fused applique method because we are doing 25 of these trees. So yeah,
great. Yes. We're doing 25 trees, guys.
I'm doing 50. Okay, so I don't want to hear it.
That's less trees than I'm decorating in my house this year, so I can do it.
Yeah, I think we can. We can.
Fine.
What are we showing next? What's our next bundle?
So we're running a little low on
good.
time, but
Yep,
we're gonna go through gonna go through our all-in package.
Oh, perfect.
We're gonna pop that up on the screen. Because we want to, there's other really cool little things that are included in the all-in package. We're going to pop that up on the screen. First of all, it starts off with our Glow Ultra light board, which is our biggest one. I have it right here. This one right here. Oh, sorry,
No,
Nathan.
you're great.
It's so big. I can't get, just kidding. It's not that heavy. This is our Glow Ultra light board that's included in this kit. First of all, it is, 19 inches by 26 inches. So it is twice as big as the Glow Premium that we just showed you. So this is included. And honestly, if I am working in my sewing space, it's my favorite one to use. It's kind of turned into my crafting desktop. It's just always out. And sometimes I need the light. Sometimes I don't. Most of the time I use it. But sometimes I use it with the mat. Sometimes I use it without. But it comes with a clear cutting mat the same way that's textured on the back. So it doesn't slip around when you're using it. Same as our Glow Premium. This one does have to always be plugged in. Excuse me. But it has multiple light settings as well. But it is twice as big. So when you're doing your bigger blocks, like when I'm working on my laser cut quilts, I can put the whole block out on here because this will hold a whole fat quarter because it's 19 by 26. So you can put your whole piece out there and work on it that way. So it's really great. This is the one, guys. This is the package. If you've been wanting to get Caterpillar, you've been wanting to get into it, like all the things that you want are all included in this. So the Glow Ultra is included in it. The tempered glass mat that we also already talked about is included in it. The Glow Ultra tote is also included in it. So this tote bag that will hold your Glow Ultra is also included with it. So you can keep your projects all in one space. If you can't leave it out all the time like I do at my house, it's a great storage bag to put that in. That's included with it as well. It's got multiple pockets. It's got, your full pocket for your light board. It's got your secondary pocket for rulers and projects and fabrics and things. And it's got your pocket here for your power cords and things like that. It also has these little rubber feet on the bottom. So if you do need to store it upright, slide it into a closet or anything like that, that helps keep it stable so it can store upright really easily. So that is included. So the Glow Ultra, biggest one we have.
Let's do this.
Brightest one we have.
Let me move this out from underneath there really quick, getting her taken care of. Hold on. So this Glow Ultra, if you're thinking about this, let me just ask this question, Melodee. Who would be the person that you see if they're thinking, oh, it's time to get to something else. Now I want the Glow Ultra. Who is this person? I know you're going to demonstrate some of this right now.
Yeah.
But like when you're thinking about who this is ideal for, tell me a little bit more about the space, the use.
Yeah. So if you have the space to keep this out, it's great. If you also do more, if you cut bigger things, like I said, you can put a fat quarter out on this. You can cut bigger things. If you cut bigger pieces of fabric, this is so great because your grid is 17 inches by 24 inches. Your measuring grid on here is 17 by 24, but you can overcut it because the mat goes all the way to the edge of the board. So you can actually cut a full 26-inch length. So when you're cutting your strips, you can cut that right on here because when you have that, like I showed you guys earlier, when that light is lit, you can line up your ruler lines along with your, I have a bigger ruler here. Oh, it's over there. Yeah. You can line your ruler lines up and you can see, most of the time you can see through your fabric to line those ruler lines up. But even if you can't, if your piece if you can't see through, you can make sure your ruler is lined up here. And if it's longer ruler, obviously here. And then when you have, then you know that's a straight cut. So when you have bigger blocks, you do 20 by 20, you can put those up on here because you can cut 20 inches on this. When you have 17 by 24, if you're doing really big blocks, 18 by 20, whatever the blocks are, 10 by 10, you can square everything up right on here because you have that whole entire space. And you can see exactly what you're doing. So this one is really, really great if you do anything bigger, if you like to stay at home, if you have a space to keep it out, even if you don't have a space to keep it out because that bag comes with it. This is just, it's bigger, it's brighter. Go big or go home, really, right?
Go.
Like this is the great, this is great.
Grab that glass mat as well, because this is one of the things that we find that people absolutely love as well, is the fact that you can work on a surface for ironing.
Yep.
While working on a surface for cutting.
Yep.
So you end up with this combination between the surface for ironing, and I'm just going to move this a little bit more to your right. Here we go.
Yep.
And an area for the left, obviously, and this is not exactly, because normally we would be working on this for ironing
right
under the mat. So this, again, what we're doing is I'm just showing you top down as if we're going to iron, and we end up with part of this kit, and we're working through a few things. What we end up with is we end up with being able to be between cutting on the surface, moving over here, and then applying those directly with the heat and the iron, and being able to trace those and take this, because you can see
right
again,
here. You don't have to move it
anywhere. See that seeing through. We can see that through here, and therefore we can then align all of your applique pieces directly on top of the patterns because it shows through all of these surfaces.
Yep. So the Ultra is really my favorite. The first one I got when I started working with Caterpillar was the Glow Premium, which was portable, which I love it still. But then we came out with the Go Ultra, and I was like, oh yeah, that's what I need. So now I have the Go Ultra too. Yep. So the Ultra is really great because a lot of your projects end up being bigger. So the Ultra comes with it. The glass mat comes with it. The storage bag all comes with it. And then the other piece that comes with it, you guys, is our rotating cutting mat. So this is our swivel. This is our rotating cutting mat. It rotates on a ball bearing. So it is super smooth spin. But it has these little stoppers all around the bottom so that when you put pressure down on it, it will not continue to spin. And thank you. The thing that is really cool about this is it is translucent, like our other products are translucent. So you can set it right on top of your lights, and that light will shine through your swivel. So you can do your squaring up right on top of here, which is so great because when you put the pressure, like I showed you, it's not going to keep spinning on you. When you need to square your pieces.
Here's your applique piece too. Let's throw that on there really quick as well.
This one?
Oh, this one right here.
Oh, yeah.
This is one of my favorite ways to show this one here.
When you're doing your hexies, because you can see through there. And now with the
rotating cutting mat here, you got the swivel.
You can cut one side. You don't have to move your pattern. You can just turn it. You can cut your next side, and so on and so on. You can just turn it, because when you put pressure on it, it won't continue to move on you, and you can just hurry up and cut your pieces. Boom. Love the swivel. The swivel is so great. The cutting mat is reversible, so you can cut on both sides of this.
Let's do a top down. Let me just show you how thick this is.
That is. It's
super thick. It's twice as thick actually as a standard cutting mat.
Yep.
That's because it's actually been adhered with two of them.
Yep. So you can cut on both sides. Now you can't read. I mean, some of you can read the numbers backwards if you use the backside. So I use the backside when I have a square ruler or a template or anything like that, and I don't need to see the measurements. And then I flip it back over to this side when I do need to see the measurements. I'm trying to square up and align it with my ruler. But you can do it on either way. And then we do have replacement cutting mats. So if you ever need a replacement one, you can just get a replacement. You don't need a whole new system.
Now I want to show everybody what just actually happened that you are not aware of. This is something that she just demonstrated. She just turned this and we're like, oh, that moves so easy. Now what happens again, is you mentioned that one of the biggest challenges with rotating cutting mats is two things. First and foremost, one, they don't rotate easily. Or they over-rotate, meaning they rotate so easily that when you begin to cut, what ends up happening is you're having a hard time trying to shift your weight and the pressure points over those. Well, again, if you look at this, there's actually, it's hard to see, we've got these little silicone dots around there. And what these silicone dots allow is when we put a little bit of pressure, all of a sudden this no longer spins. Because what we've done is the whole goal was that there's the right flexibility, that it makes it easy as we're moving through and repositioning for cutting. And when we're wanting to lock it down, a little bit of that pressure holds this in place again. So the key thing, if you look at this, easy to move.
Yep. Side
to side to side. We're doing our fuss cutting. We're doing everything else we need to. Once we're ready to cut, we add a little bit of pressure, and that holds this mat from sliding, rotating. So we eliminate the rotation. So again, much, much safer. And then you're going to get the freedom with the flexibility. So it does rotate when you
Yeah.
need to, yet it stays in place when you're looking to cut,
Stays in place.
to keep everything
Yes.
aligned.
Yep. It's probably the best rotating mat that I've seen because it does rotate.
Yeah.
First and foremost, it does actually rotate. But again, you're not going to cut yourself. It's going to stop.
Some of the other
So
ones I've seen, I feel like you have to kind of hold the bottom,
Yeah.
spin the top again,
Yeah.
or they rotate
don't.
very well, but they don't ever stop.
They don't
So
ever
now
stop.
you're
Yeah.
having to really hold. So
Yeah.
here's a great one.
Yeah.
Just looking at the comment over there.
So
Megan.
perfect. Yeah. So the swivel is included in our all-in package as well. Odd question. Can I purchase the corner protectors? Oh, Linda, thank you for that question. It's not odd. We get that all the time. First of all, those corner protectors aren't necessary. They're just there for shipping. If you're talking about those little green corner protectors that come in it, those are just there because we have to ship the mats out. We don't have extras because they're not meant to stay on the board. They don't need to stay on the board. Your mat is really tough and the corners are really tough. We'd like to say it's 20 times harder than typical glass. It's really hard. That tempered glass is really nice and solid. So you don't have to keep those corners on. They're really just for shipping. So once you get those, I mean, they're
Take 'em
cute
off.
because they're green, but you can just take those off.
And then what's nice is the glass itself has the nice radiused edges.
Yeah.
And they're beveled, so they're
Beveled,
soft
yeah,
and it's not
soft,
sharp,
yeah,
not hard to
exactly.
hit.
Yep. No need to keep those. Okay.
So again, I just wanted to note this. This is a fun one. This is just thanks very much. This is we've got Megan here with us watching the live using my Glow Premium, my glass mat doing foundation paper piecing.
She's
So that
doing
might
it
have
right
already
now.
been up there, but that's pretty
Yep.
awesome. Thanks for being with us.
Yep.
Megan, as you're doing part of what that is, just another testimonial to
yeah.
the use of what these have and how they change part of the experiences. Megan, I'd love for you to comment back in, how has utilizing some of these tools either given you a little bit more of a different turn on how you finish your projects? A lot of people, one of our jokes that we always talk about is you have to stop when the sun goes down. And you're
Right.
like, oh, because in our homes, we end up with a light in the middle. We end up with our work projects usually surrounding the sides. As soon as we go to lean over them, in fact, let's just do a top down
Yeah.
and show everybody this. The
So,
amount of shadows
Like
we end
the
up
shadows
getting.
that you do, right? When you are doing your projects are a lot. But when you have that light coming from below,
What we
those
end up
shadows
doing
go
is,
away.
now that is projecting upwards. And
Yep.
so the shadows we actually get are on us now. Like if you'll notice they're on us because we have that lit surface. And so visibly
visibility
with our
is so much
eyes,
better, yeah.
we end up getting a lot more. The lines look crisper
Mhm.
and cleaner. So we're able to line things a lot better. We talk about the fabric being able to be over that foundation paper piecing as a style. So you can align those things. We talk about if there's a glass mat, these other things,
Yep.
everything works and stacks together and makes it just so much easier as far as how those things can be utilized
Yep.
to maximize it. So
Yep,
I just
for
think
sure.
it's wonderful.
It's amazing. So now with this all-in package that we're talking about here, guys, the other thing that's included is, I think it's down
What are
here,
you looking for?
the whole mini package. This Ultra is meant to stay home. It's meant to be used in you can travel with it. We have traveled with it. You can. It's really big to travel with, but you can travel with it.
However, we have a better option.
We have a better option for traveling. This also included is our Glow Mini light board, along with the Glow Mini tote. So this is also included in the all-in package. The Glow Mini is about 10 by 13. Let me grab the cord. It does work the same as our other ones. So it does have your multiple light settings. So you can change the intensity on that light. And it does come with a cutting mat as well. That's textured so it doesn't slip around. And this is really perfect for traveling. This is really perfect for all of your little pieces. If you are working on little hexies, if you're working on tiny little foundation paper piecing, this is really great for that. It's about a quarter of the size of
I was
the
going to show
Ultra.
them from the top down here. You can see it's a quarter.
It's
So
about the quarter of the size of the Ultra.
let me just grab this really quick, just
the
as
premium
a
is half.
matter
Yep.
of reference so everybody can see. So this is the premium. Premium is half of that, and the mini is half of the premium or 1/4
Yep. And then the
the
Ultra is the full
size
size
of the
one.
Ultra.
Yep. But then the bag that comes with it is also so great for traveling because you can slide your mini in here right like that. You can Velcro it in. This side's padded for the mini right here. And then you've got your other pockets for projects or patterns or rotary cutters or magnets or anything like that. And you can
Ruler
put
slide
your
right
ruler
on
slide
in
right
there.
in there, and you can take this with you. You've got an extra pocket here. It's double padded. You've got your shoulder strap and briefcase handle as well. This is the cutest little bag. This is my favorite little bag. But the Glow Mini comes with this all-in package as well because sometimes you're working at home and sometimes you're working on the go. And
Or
so that's-
sometimes you're working at home in a room, and sometimes you want to work in a different space in your house.
Yes.
You talk about the premium, great for that. The mini works just as well. Small little space. It's just literally the size I like to show everybody this here.
Yep, it's about a size
This
of a
is
sheet of paper.
size of a sheet of paper. If you're looking down, it's just large enough to fully work with one of those. So that was the piece of paper that shows up. Let me turn that on for a second there. I love it. It's just so bright. There you go. There's the sheet of paper. Fits right inside of that. So that's the size that we have. It's a great size because of that.
Yeah, it's really perfect to travel with. This whole bag goes in my laptop bag.
So
sometimes.
Megan just says this is one of the things we were talking about earlier. So she loves it for two reasons. It helps so much with accuracy, being able to line the fabric up on the pattern. The other reason is a set of
she was able to set up a station, a lighted
next to her
station
sewing
next to her sewing
machine
machine
for faster sewing.
because you don't have to pick it up and leave to a cutting table and come
move it
back to your
back.
sewing machine, because you can cut right on top of your line.
Thank you for sharing that, Megan. We appreciate your insights on
That's
that.
that's exactly how Bethany uses hers. That's how I use mine. I have it all.
A lot of people do.
All of it right there.
By the way, we're like, hey, what packages are people raising their hand and they're finding interest in adding their carts and checking out? This was the one.
This
was
is
the
one.
all-in. Was like, let's just go to this. Let's deck out our space. Let's make sure we have what we're going to need. We found that the applique was another one that a lot of people loved, and so we did part of the applique. And then the other one, would you say, what was the third on that list?
The travel.
The travel one. Oh yeah, well, great.
Because traveling's coming up. So the travel bundle's doing really
wonderful.
Yeah, that one's, we're having great response for the little travel bundle as well. So we're not done with what's in the all-in package yet, because like the funny thing is Bethany was like, what products do we need to pull out this morning? What am I talking about? I'm like, oh, we're going to talk about the all-in bundle. She goes, so like everything, right? I'm like, yeah, like everything.
Pretty much everything.
Pretty much everything. So the next one that's included is our flip
large
and fold cutting
flip
mat,
and
you guys.
fold.
This is the flip and fold cutting mat. You can store it on a shelf. How many of you guys have like tried to store your cutting mat somewhere and you stick it up behind your couch or behind your sewing table or anything like that? You get that curve in the bottom and it never lays flat again.
Behind the piano.
You have to slide it under your bed in order to keep it flat.
Next to your pans, you got your cookie sheets somewhere.
Yes. Yeah, I've done that.
It's in your craft room, standing behind the cabinet you've got in the corner. Put your hand up if anybody's done any of that. And then you go to get it out and you're like, oh, I just ruined my mat. I ruined the experience.
Yeah, all of that.
No
all of
longer
that
works.
You don't have to worry about that. So we've got to move some stuff out of the way because, guys, this is so cool. It gets so big. It's amazing. Let me get the glass mat out of the way. Let me get the Ultra here out of the way.
I'll get it. You just want to unplug it for me.
Okay. Move the Ultra out of the way. So this is our Flip and Fold 48. This is our larger version. We do have a smaller version that's included in that little travel bundle that we talked to you guys about. This is the smaller one. It's the 36.
Let me show them top down here.
It's half the size of the bigger one. So we have two sizes of this. This all-in bundle includes the bigger of the two. So, but they work the exact same. So when you are working on something, you have a standard 11 by 17 cutting mat right here on the top. So this is really great because you can do a lot of your little pieces right on here that when you need to cut things out, it's right here. This is made of a, yes, you need the flip and fold cutting mat because they warp over the years, right? That's what I was just going to talk about, which is so great. So it's made of a material called TPE. So it's more durable than a typical cutting mat feature. What typical cutting mats are made out of. This also is heat resistant. So we did a little test. We took the TPE out and put it in the hot car in the summertime in Utah. Now we're a desert state. It gets pretty warm. So this is what happened to typical cutting mats when we put them out in the heat. This is what happens. How many of you guys has this happened to? They warp over time. They warp in the heat. We all leave our mats in the cars by accident. And it was so, it's so stressful because like, what do you do with this? You throw it out.
Nothing.
You can't do anything
Garbage.
with it. It's garbage. This is what happens with ours.
So let me just show you. This is the same mat. Here we are. Same mat, same piece. This is
Still completely flat.
This is the difference.
Yeah.
This is the difference. Right here. Same product, same mat that we've got going on.
Yes.
Competitor mats and the flip and fold mat.
Yep. Yeah. So the thing that's so great about this flip and fold is that it is multiple sizes in one. The two great things is it's multiple mats in one. The second thing is the storage, like we talked about. It can stay on the shelf. You don't have to have it out. You don't have to have it under your bed. You don't have to lean it against the wall. You can put it away.
Let me ask this, because this is the same thing. Anybody who's here would know that normally we have probably a space that's for cutting, but however, we're working on our projects. You talked about your works in progress.
Right.
And there's just not a space that you're going to want to move. So you might have something usually gets covered with other fabrics or other pieces.
Right. Yeah.
And the other thing is how big often do we maybe need to cut? And so I think that varies, right?
It
Small
does.
projects, big projects, medium-sized projects. Where am I going to cut? I have a dedicated, I have a non-dedicated space. And to me, one of the biggest things that we've heard when people have looked at this is I just need to cut sometimes,
Right.
or I need to cut in these places, or I need to cut a project at a certain size, and they don't always match up. They
Right.
don't always match. And so what we have found is that this flip and fold, as you saw, pulled off a shelf.
Yep.
Okay. Fit in a shelf. That shelf's what? I think probably a little over 11 and a half, 12 inches wide.
Yeah.
12 inches wide
12
is what
inches
we've
wide.
got. 12.
Yep.
And that's about 12 inches deep. And this one here is about,
about
18
yeah.
inches deep is what we have. Just slid right off the shelf.
Yep.
And you're going to see what we do in order to open this up
Yeah.
and create a space.
So when you look at this mat, there's puzzle pieces that kind of stick out from the sides. You want to pop that top camera over. There's little puzzle pieces that stick from either side, right? So in order to open this mat, you always want to start where there's two. So there's two on this side and there's one on that side. If you start where there's two, it's super easy. It does take a little getting used to, but it's super easy to do. So you can open this up. So if you're cutting your smaller pieces on your 11 by 17, this is great. But if you need a little bit more space, you can flip that open and you can cut on your 17 by 24. So the mat is 24, the grid is 22 inches to measure, but you can cut on this side. Then if you need a little bit more space, you can flip it over and you can open it again. And then now you are 17 by 48. This is the size it typically stays in at my house.
Yep.
Now that I have a cutting table, I didn't used to, but now that I do, this is the size that it typically stays in. So you just need to make sure that your little puzzle pieces are snapped together, because then they stay right together and it stays nice and flat.
One of the great things about this that people ask questions all the time is that there ends up being this little bit of a seam. But one of the things that we did do is, I'm going to zoom in on this so everybody can see. What we did is it is actually not, so the cut line or the fold where this comes together is not on a major line. So what we find is that usually we're not lining this up and we're not using that as a cut piece. And the other thing that happens is because we end up with these puzzle pieces that are right here that help hold this together, this creates an additional set of pressure. That means we can cut across this if we need to without having any kind of a problem. And so that's one of the nice things about this is it's secure, and the way it's been designed is done in such a way that it allows it to, it's in the, is it in your travel bag? We're looking for the rotary cutter here. So
Well, there is one in here. I don't know if
There we
that's where
are.
that one went, but there's one in here.
yeah, it's look in the back side of that. I think it might be underneath that. Or is it in the fat quarter bundle bag area?
Oh, it's probably in fat quarter bone back. But yeah, you can cut right on this and you can cut right across that. Now this is, 4 layers of fabric folded over, and you can cut straight off of that. Super easy. See that? I'm going to do it again.
There we go.
Boom.
You're good. Yep.
I didn't know if this one was sharp
Sharp
or not.
enough. That's
But
always
you
the
can cut
question.
straight over there, and it doesn't affect how you're cutting. It doesn't affect anything. You can cut over across the little fold ones as well as the little ones that are split.
Again, so this is the fold. This is where we have a fold. This is where we actually have the split. Right now, if you're looking at this again, we're at, again, half as big as it goes. We opened it
Yeah.
from the small to the medium, from the medium to the next size up, from the medium. Now, what we end
Now
up
we're
with,
going to open it one more time.
we're going to go to one
And
more.
now you get your big 36 by 48 mat, which is bigger than our table.
So again, if I were to ask you, how many of you have a cutting mat in your home that's 24 by 36? Pretty much all of us are going to say yes.
Yes.
By the way, that is only half of the size of this mat. This mat
Yes.
is twice that size. In fact, let's grab really quick. Where's our mini? Just out of comparison, just to show you guys. This is the mini. Again, this is literally the size of a sheet of paper as well. But I'm going to just quickly show you this as we, again, begin to expand this here. And what I want to do is I want to open this up because this is normal size mat here. This is standard. Somebody already has a 24 by 36. Again, this probably when somebody buys a mat is one of the most common size that
Yeah.
somebody's buying that they're putting at home. Again, I'm just going to slide this so you can see it's half the size.
Yep.
So let's go back again, half the size. So what we just did is we just unfolded the mini. The mini is half the size of the entire cutting space that we now have,
Yep.
which is now the 36 by 48 instead of the 24 by 36, which is also available. Great to have, great
Yes.
as part of your travel kit if you wanted to
Yes.
buy that and add it in. But right now, as part of this all in, it is the bigger kit altogether on what we have. So
And the thing that's so great about all of these mats, every size that you fold it to starts over at 1. So every single one starts over at 1, and they all have the angles. And then we also have the little fractions there. First thing is the numbers are on the outside. So when your fabric's lined up here, you can see your full
Yep.
numbers here. But we've got the little fractions because nobody likes to do maths. We've got a quarter, 1/8, 3/8, all listed on there so you can see them. We have little dots that line up your quarter inch. We have total lines that do your half inch, and we've got all of your angles that you might need as well. There it is. It's a little bit better to see. But they all start over at 1. Every single different size starts over at 1. So if we go back to the beginning, and this happens on both sizes. If we go back to the beginning, we start here at 1 with our 75, 60, 45, 30, and 15 angles. Then when we flip it open to the next size, we start over again at 1. Then when we flip it over and open it again to our long size, we start over again at 1. So every single size starts over again at 1. So you guys can always measure exactly what you need. These are really great. I fell in love with these. These are the only cutting mats I have at my house anymore. These flip and folds are the only ones that I have anymore. So
let's go ahead and show them one of the last sizes on here.
Oh yeah, see, I can't do that one very well. I don't ever use that one.
What we do is we're just going to fold it over. This is again part of that 24 by 36 mat, which is
so this one is also a 24 by 36 if you need it to be. So
and in fact, if you think about 24 by 36, we actually end up with 1 hole 24 by 36, 2 hole 24 by 36, another 24 by 36, and a last 24 by 36. So this legitimately has 4 24 by 36 inch mats.
Yep. And see how it just folds back. There's only one way to fold it back. So don't stress about how you fold it back because there's only one way. You cannot fold it back.
And the other thing that's great is we have instructions on the top here on how you can use that with a QR code that takes you right into the videos amongst a few other things that makes that easy. So.
Yep. And thank you for mentioning that. It really is the best cutting mat. You can cut anything on it. Paper, leather, faux leather, cardstock, chipboard, everything. You can cut all those materials right on here. So that's really, really great. So we do have another item in our all-in bundle. And this is one of Bethany's favorites. This is our clamp lights because we want to keep our fingers away from our rulers. So this is rechargeable LED clamp light. This will clamp onto your ruler with this little push it down green, clamps right on. And this will hold, oh my gosh, I just clamped it to the table. It'll hold onto your rulers. It also has a little light on it. If you guys can see that, it lights up. So it helps you see exactly where you're doing the clamp. Bethany likes to have hers like right on the side on her rulers. So she lights up this area right here. When I'm using my clamp light, I like to have it a little bit at an angle so it's lighting up what's going in front of me. But when you're on top of your cutting mat with the light, it will light up exactly what you're seeing. So it's a little more ergonomic. So you're using your arm muscles to hold it instead of your finger muscles to hold your rulers down. It's great for bigger rulers. And it's rechargeable. So you don't have to have it plugged in while you're using it. But this is our clamp light and it's included in the all-in package as well.
Nice.
I feel like I'm forgetting something.
We'll take a look. Let's bring this up. I just brought out a few of the last items so that we can kind of go through everything that's in the all-in.
Yeah.
Can I talk
Go
about
ahead. Absolutely.
Yes.
You said it's
Bethany,
Bethany's
I know.
favorite.
It's Bethany's favorite. So Bethany's still here with us. It is Bethany's
Let me
favorite.
tell you, as someone who has on multiple occasions taken a rotary cutter to my fingers, RIP my knuckles. That happens because I'm putting my hand and trying to use my hand and my body weight to hold a ruler in place.
Yep.
And no more. I literally use this. This or our mini clamps, one of the two. What is great about this is not only does it keep my fingers safe because rotary cutters will jump rulers. It happens to the best of us. We get a little quick with it or a little careless or distracted. It happens. That will protect your fingers first and foremost. Yep. Secondly, it's going to protect your wrists. So if you have any sort of carpal tunnel or arthritis or anything that makes it hard for you to be able to push down on a ruler, you can use the clamp light. It's also made for right-handed and left-handed people, which I always like to mention. Some people forget about that, but I had a sewist at my retreat earlier this month, and she's a lefty, and she was always talking about how hard it is to find things that are versatile for left-handed people. And this is one of those tools that it's gripped in the same way on both sides. My fiance is a lefty, so I know to kind of look for those things that's going to make it easier for him to be able to use tools. So yeah, it's good for that. Obviously the light, we like to light up everything. So that's obviously a big help for visibility. But sometimes if I'm in my studio, I don't really need the light because it's so bright in here. But I'll still just use it all the time. So if you have one of these, you know how good they are. If you have like really long rulers, like some of us have really long rulers, you may want two, one for one end of the ruler and one for the other end. And you leave your ruler in place and you just move your hand to the next one. People also do that with our mini clamps. Don't sleep on the clamps. Last Christmas, these these sold out before Christmas, and we didn't get to restock them for a while because of shipping times. So if you are on the fence about this, don't miss out. People were so bummed that they didn't get this last time. So we're about to do go into our Black Fridays and our 12 days of Christmas, and I don't know if they're going to make it through like last year. And we had more this year, and they just keep selling out. So they're such a great tool. If you need something for a stocking stuffer for a friend, you're going to a guild and have to do a gift swap. Everybody's going to want this gift if you're doing a Secret Santa. So it's going to get stolen the most. If you're doing it with your guild or your sewing club or whatever, or your sewing bestie just needs a tool. Maybe they also, like me, cut right across their knuckle. I mean, there's nothing worse. So protect yourselves, love your friends, your sewing friends, get them this little tool, maybe grab yourself an extra one. You will not be upset about it. So that is my spiel. I will always say use a clamp when you can. Yeah. There's my 2 cents.
there's Bethany's knowledge of things, and she knows more than me for sure.
Look,
and she's right. Like it's so great, and it's
protect yourself.
Like I don't have, my grip strength is so bad anymore. Yeah. Like I just don't have it. So if I don't hold on to
my wrists are bad.
Yeah, like it's so much nicer to hold on to a clamp than
I actually got one for my mom because she's had that surgery for her hands because of all the sewing she's done over the years. So if you know someone who struggles with cutting and it's slowing them down and making it hard for them to enjoy the craft that they've been doing for a long time, like get them the clamps. It's a form of love, and it's also a form of self-care for yourself. So there you go.
I love that. The two of you have talked about a couple of really key pieces. And I think about this, isn't rotary cutting, when you're trying to create and hold stability, hard enough on its own? So think about the pressure, the pain, the challenges. We're trying to keep the blade against the rulers. And then the next thing we do is we're always like, I know people that, put arms and hands down on those surfaces. And so something like this is an absolute game changer. To your point, Bethany. Absolutely.
Yeah. Protect yourselves. Yeah. And because nothing's worse than like hurting yourself before you even get to the fun part of sewing. So like,
right. And then you bleed all over your fabric. And then,
well, I think the challenge too is, there was a study done, this is a few years ago, and they just asked, hey, what is the least desired part of anything to do when it comes to crafting, sewing, quilting? Cutting. Absolutely cutting. So anything we can do to help alleviate that, make it better, make it safer, make it easier,
quicker.
Make sure that we're not fatigued, because what we don't want to do is, I know we get tired, and think about how many of you, your arms and all your joints, you're tired. It's hard to want to continue to sew your project. And so when you're wanting to get into it, you're halfway done, you have to go take a break. And so I feel like items like this, like the clamp lights, they help add the ergonomics.
I take this to Sewing Club every month because I bring my flip and fold cutting mat, and I bring my rulers, and I set up a cutting station for everyone at Sewing Club to use and share so that they don't have to bring so much stuff with them. But I always bring this and I clamp it to my ruler, and I have mini clamps on my smaller rulers, and all of them love it because I think, okay, you're here at Sewing Club, you're using my tools. I want you to be safe. I don't want you to get hurt. And so now they're all obsessed with the clamps too. So if you're teaching in a class, if you're going to a retreat, take it, share it, keep your friends safe, let them experience it for themselves. This is so much better than some of those other weird, like, handlebar clamps I've seen. I don't like those. I don't like those either. I don't like them because, one, they're really big. And two, it's not, you're still doing this weird angle with your wrist, and you're still having to lean into it, and there's no light. So keeping your wrist nice and flat while you're holding this is so important. And you're going to find it much more comfortable and easier for you to cut. So then you don't have to focus so much on, am I holding my ruler still? But then you can focus on where you're cutting and your rotary blade is going. So I hope that helps. It's so cute. It reminds me of a kettlebell.
I know, it's a little,
but much lighter.
Then we don't have to go to the gym.
Wait, if this is my workout, then I
can do it. I can do it. I can do that workout. That's beautiful. I can do that workout. That's so great. So there is one more piece to our all-in package that we have on special. Well, 2 pieces actually. There's one more product, and then it does come with free fat quarter bundle bags, guys. I was going to bring this up really quick so everybody kind of see again what we're talking about. Yeah. This is the package we're talking about right now. It is the it's the all-in sewing quilting package. And listen, guys, all of these items are available separately. If you have some of them and need others, or are looking at just the clamp light for Secret Santas, all of those things are available individually as well. But this is a really great deal right now for our fall fest. It's a great discount, and it also includes 5 free fat quarter bundle bags, guys. 5 of them. I have it right here.
There we go.
This package includes 5. So we were talking earlier about stocking up for presents or gifts for your guild or anything like that, these fat quarter bundle bags, if you get this all in package, you get 5 of these for free. You can store your fat quarters in here. You can travel with them. You can store other things in here as well, obviously threads and patterns and projects and all those kinds of things right inside here. And right now, with this all in package for our Fall Fest, you get 5 free fat quarter bundle bags with this package, which is just crazy. But we do have one more
kind of
item that's included in our all in package that we haven't yet talked about, which is our Flex sewing machine light with accessory kit. So we're going to go through this. We really appreciate you guys hanging with us today. We're going to go through this.
A little bit quicker here.
Yeah, we'll go through this quickly. This is our Flex sewing machine light and accessory pack. So first of all, there's a light that comes with it that you can add to your sewing machine, which is right behind us here. And this is my little machine. It comes with this little cradle that has a piece of Velcro on it, and the sewing machine ends up in, or the light ends up in this little cradle. So we've got a little piece of Velcro stuck on our machine right here. So this part Velcros to your machine wherever you want to stick it. You can stick it here. I have mine at my house at the end here, so I can point my light wherever I need to. Some people stick it right in front of them. Some people stick it right behind the machine. You can stick the cradle wherever you want to stick the cradle. But the thing that's so cool is it comes with this light. This is our Flex sewing machine light right here. And this has multiple light settings like all of our things do. So there's multiple light settings on this. Oh, I just got myself in the face with that one. So there's 3 different light settings on this one. And it slides right into this cradle, either that way or this way. So that now the light is on your machine. And then this neck right here of it, you can point it wherever you need the extra light. So if you're sewing on a machine this machine doesn't have great light. If you're sewing on a machine like this and you need a little extra light to see where you're sewing, watch how much brighter this gets with that light on. You don't have to have it all the way bright. Mine, like I said, is always at the end here on my bigger machine at home. And then I have this pointed where I am threading my needle, and then I can move it out of the way when I don't need it anymore. I like to have it behind sometimes so I can see what's happening behind there, or right in front where I can see what's happening right here. But you can point this light wherever you need it. So that's the initial intention for this little sewing machine light, is to put it on your sewing machine. And now we have this accessory kit so you can get it off of your sewing machine and you can use it in multiple ways. So if you take this little cradle off, this little cradle that comes with it is a little clip. This little clip right here, you can clip this on an embroidery hoop. You can clip this on a book. You can clip this on anything you want. You can clip it onto the edge of your cutting mat to add light if you need to right there. You can clip it onto, let me grab the hoop. Oh, wait. I don't know where the hoop is. You can stick it onto, like if you're doing a little painting on the little canvas, you can stick it onto anything. My husband stuck it to his baseball hat when he was painting some trim at our house a few weeks back because I kept telling him he was missing a spot. He couldn't see where he was missing the spot. And so he stuck this on his hat so he could see where he was missing the spot. But this will clip onto anything like that. So you could do your handwork with a little bit of an extra thing on it. Then it also comes with this little magnifier that you can attach to the end. Now it's got a 5 times and a 10 times magnification. So if you see this, I'm going to dim this down just a little bit so you can see. Watch how when I put it over the little caterpillar, look how much bigger that is. Look at that. Look at how much better that is. So this will help you see what you're working on so much better. Look at that. Oh, look at that. That is so cool. I love this. It gets so much better. So you can use that so that you can see it. And like Aaron just told us in the chat, I took this when I saw the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere, and then I didn't have to let my camera battery run down when I needed to turn my light on. So yes, you can do that with this too. So it comes with this little extra little magnifier, which is so, so great. The other cradle that comes with it is the magnetic cradle. So this little cradle right here has little holes in it right here, and it's got magnets on the back. So this one you can attach to the lanyard, and you can wear the light. So you can attach the holes and you can wear the light right here. So then your hands are free and you can see it. Now, when you're doing that and you've got the magnifier on it, it makes it really heavy and it flops around quite a bit. So we also have this little disc here that has a magnet on this side of it. So you can slide that under your shirt and you can wear that light. You don't have to have it on the lanyard to do that, but you can do your hands free like this. And you know what? Yes, you're totally right. She's tried to convince her woodworker father that he needs the Flex Light set. He does hand carved wood inlays. This would be so great for that because he can
take a look really quick. What Melodee, but you just did. One of the things that we've had with the lights is the lights normally have to be fixed in a space. Right. So to me, what we've just done is we've made this light be able to go where you need it and be able to have it stuck where you need it. So part of the shirt or here, I wanted to leave it kind of like you had it. I want to show them because if you're going to be doing woodworking or overlay, and I'm thinking, so this is looking at top down. So let's look at this from her perspective of looking through this. Look at that now. Look at what she'll be able to see as part of what that is, because now with the visibility, you're going to be able to see right through that into any of the surfaces you're working on in order to have the details. And so then this whole work surface now becomes available. And you can see as I move my hand underneath that, one, with light, it's great to go. And then two, if you need the magnification, you end up with magnification on top of your entire work surface now being lit up in addition to normally what we would have as the lighting around us. We've talked about this with the light boards. Light from the bottom helps immensely. But the other thing is just having more light in any space, even from the top, makes a big difference. And again, if we have lights above our heads, then that's still creating shadows. This being between us would help a lot illuminate that surface between us and the surfaces we're working with.
This little disc is fuzzy on the one side, so that if you have it under your shirt, it's not going to irritate your skin. But because it's fuzzy, it will also sit on a tabletop. So you can make it into a little tabletop lamp as well. Plus, you've got your whole base that holds everything, because that's always a trick, right? Is where do you put all the things? The base holds everything. And you can plug the base in so your light can be charging as a table light while there you go.
So everybody can kind of see that, what we've got going on.
You can set your little disc right here and have it attached to your little magnet so that stays where it goes. You can put your little lanyard, fold this up so it sits right here. All of it stays in one space. The little Velcro cradle can be on your machine and you're all good to go. It's the best little set. I love it so much. It's so great.
Number one selling item when it comes to our lights. We have the standard flex light, which comes on its own. It can come with a couple cradles. That has been a very popular one. However, if you already have a flex light, you can get the accessory pack separately. But right now, as part of this kit, let's just show them this one as the top down. This is the current one that is available. Again, this would be also available if you already have a light. You can accessorize it. But what a lot of people are doing is they're just opting to get this that has the light in there and all the accessories as part of what this is. Again, there's the plate on the back of it because they're just adding to the light. So if you already have a flex light and you've enjoyed using this flex light for all of the different things you've done, you have your cradles. What they're doing is you're now accessoring. Bring this into your home. Now use the two lights. You can put one and keep it on the machine. The other one can be portable, or you can use this and any of the other accessories as well at the same time. To
Linda
give you
just mentioned she
functions.
had the flex light originally and then she got this, so now the light is always charging on this, so when hers dies she can just swap it out because she has two lights. So it's really great for that too. These are really great, and like Nathan mentioned, all of our stuff in our bundles are available.
Got one of these, keep it on the charger
by themselves as well if you already have some of our products. But the bundles right now, the packages for Fall Fest are really great if you're looking to get a bunch of things all at once. It's a great deal. It's also got free fat quarter bundle bags right now.
How many free fat quarter bundle bags?
For the all-in package that we've been talking about, you get 5 free fat quarter bundle bags, you guys.
So let's just do this. Let's go through and kind of let them know everything again that is in this all-in package so that we're clear. I'll bring that back up on screen because that was the question is what are all of the things that are on there? Let me bring this up so that we can see. Okay. Here we are.
We have them all up here now on the table almost because we can't get them all. So here we go. We've got our Glow Ultra light board that comes with a self-healing cutting mat. We have our tempered glass mat.
Glow Ultra right here is what we've got going on.
Glow Ultra cutting mat, tempered glass mat, swivel rotating mat, which is over here, flip and fold 48, which is here, clamp light, which is right here to clamp on your rulers, flex accessory kit. So you've got your flex sewing machine light with all the little accessories that go with it. Plus you get your Glow Mini, as well as your Glow Mini tote bag. Plus you also get the Glow Ultra tote bag, which you guys, everything can fit in this. Like everything can fit in the Glow Ultra bag.
So the Ultra bag, Ultra light board, comes with a self-healing cutting mat, glass mat, clamp light, accessory kit, flip and fold, our large flip and fold 48, which is 36 to 48. The entire mini, meaning which is a light mini and its bag, its travel bag that comes together. and we end up with the swivel,
The rotating cutting
rotating
mat.
cutting mat, and you're going to get 5 fat quarter bundle bags. Remember,
Yes.
bag only, not fat quarters that come inside of those,
No,
but
not
you're
the
getting the fat
quarters,
quarter
but the
bundle
bundle bag.
bags as well.
Whew,
That's a lot.
that's a lot.
we've got
It's
going
a
on.
great deal. Plus the free fat quarter bundle bags, which are my new favorite thing. I love those so much. So those come with it as well. Guys, this has been so fun today. We appreciate you sticking with us.
Let's bring
See
Bethany
if
back on
Bethany's
as we
still
kind
around.
of
Let's bring her
wrap
back.
this up
Yeah.
and get a last couple thoughts. And then just everybody, let's bring up back if you wouldn't mind, the QR code for anybody that we want to look. Let's bring up the applique one here really quick, and let's let everybody know how to get the applique, and then we'll move over here. So this is the applique. Feel free to take a look and take advantage of that applique. It does come with a free two fat
quarter bundle bags, free with
bags
that
as
one.
well. Again, that one is the premium, premium 2, which is the battery operated light board, magnets. It comes with the additional non-gridded mat. It comes with the glass mat as well, the magnet. So it's a really great gift and a great set for part of the applique. And then we just went over the all-in, which is a way to deck out your entire studio. So this is how you can take advantage of that as well. Bethany, any last thoughts you would share as you kind of, been involved with part of the Caterpillar world and the products in your lives, and you use them for so many different things? What would be some of your last words you'd share with anybody who's going to consider this?
I mean, honestly, there's no wrong choice with either one of these bundles. The applique bundle, if you're joining us for the sew along in November, it's kind of a must. But those tools are also available in our all-in sewing. So if you're all in on quilting and sewing, I mean, you can't go wrong. It's the ultimate setup. You were talking about like who would want to use that ultra light board that's so big. And I always tell people, if you have a dedicated sewing space, like that is an ultimate setup.
Yeah.
I like to set it up where I have the cutting mat on top, and then I have on one half of it my glass mat, because it's half of the whole ultra.
Yep.
And so I can have a cutting and pressing station right there next to my sewing machine. And it's just, again, accurate efficiency, it's just like all the things that you want, and you're going to be cranking out projects a lot faster, but also still enjoying the process and getting the results that you're working so hard towards. So I love the Ultra for that reason. I set it up a lot of times in my main sewing room, not here in my studio, because it fits so well on my cutting island next to my machine, and I have everything like set up perfectly in there, but it's like a dedicated space.
Right.
Our other like standard size of light boards, like our premiums, our classics, those, like they're a great beginning size because you're not going to be limited by it at all as to what you can do. And our glass mat still fits right on top of it, or you can just set the glass mat next to it when you want to press without seeing through it. Right. And then our mini is like this little gem. I think people either start with our premium or our classic, and then they end up getting the mini, or if they start with the mini, they quickly will get a bigger one.
Yeah.
But the mini, don't sleep on the mini. If you travel at all, if you are going to classes, if you're going to retreats, if you're going to a guild or sewing club, I mean, I take that mini and I sit it in my lap because we don't have a lot of space to spread out, and I can still use it right in my lap while I'm doing foundation paper piecing or whatever while I'm sewing. And I absolutely love it. And everybody's always like, what is that? I need that. And it's it's so helpful with those tools. And in sewing places and sewing in other places outside of your main sewing space can sometimes be really hard with lighting. So to have that extra light in those challenging, unlit places, like our sewing club where we meet, it's actually like a bridge room. So the lighting's not that great. And so we actually absolutely all have our clamp lights on our flex lights on our machines. We have light boards next to us or in our laps, and it just really helps to be able to make and create in those darker, dim spaces. But yeah, honestly, you cannot go wrong. Like all of our tools are meant to work really well together. So there's no bad choice here at all, but it just depends on where you're at in your sewing journey and what you need to take that next step to learn something new.
Yep,
Wonderful.
for sure. Definitely.
I appreciate that. Just so everybody knows, if you're by chance on like YouTube, whatnot, you can also take a look in the in part of the chat. You'll be able to find the links for those both in the chat as well. So you can just quickly access those, add them to your cart, and do a checkout since they're on sale as we have wrapping up part of Fall Festival too.
I would love to know, because we are using a new platform, which we mentioned at the beginning of our live, but we've had some people join throughout the live. This is a new platform for us on the back end where we can do some different things like showing these QR codes on screen. So you can just scan with your phone and immediately go and check out the whatever product we're featuring in that very moment. If you're enjoying this process and like seeing this, like please let us know in the comments, because we want to make sure that we're presenting our information in a way that is helpful for you in your learning experience, your shopping experience, all of those kind of things. So if this is something that you like this new feature, this is our first time using it, by the way. So thank you for your patience as we're trying to figure out how it all works too.
Yeah.
And we'll continue to get better at it. But this is us trying to continue to invest in giving back to you. So if this is a platform that you're liking the receiving end of it, because we're on the giving end, right? Let us know so that we can make sure that we're still delivering content like you prefer, or if you have feedback. But thank you for your patience as we continue to learn how to use this platform.
New stuff. Yes. Linda had a quick question of if the pieces of the Flex accessory kit can be purchased separately, specifically the magnifier. And right now, Linda, they are all just available inside one of the kits. If you already have a light, you can find the kit with just the pieces instead of the Flex light if you already have a Flex light or don't need another Flex light, or you can get it as a full set with a light and the pieces. But all those pieces just come as the little accessory kit right now.
And you want the little base that they all stay on, so you don't lose any of those pieces.
I know. That's my favorite part. Yeah.
It's funny because when Melodee first saw this, she was like, "Why do we need all of this?"
I know. I was like, "This is so
Linda's
dumb."
like, "I just want this one thing." But then Melodee got it. She's like, "Oh, now I'm using all of the pieces in all these different ways." So you might be surprised, Linda, that yes, you may be interested in that magnifying glass to put on your Flex light, but you'll find yourself reaching for the other accessories more than you realize once you start playing with them. So. Sure. Please jump in and grab that because the accessory kit is wonderful.
It is.
Thank you for
saying
you all.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, we appreciate you. We appreciate you staying with us this whole time. We are going to be back Wednesday. Is our final sew along for our Riley Blake table runner kit, where Bethany and Corey are going to show us how to quilt it and bind it. So you don't have to have the kit to join. Join us. It's at 1:00 Mountain Time for that. So come join us for that. Then we will be back again Thursday to sort of wrap up our Fall Fest before, oh my gosh, Thursday's the 30th. Halloween is Friday. Like,
what are you dressing up as?
A Christmas tree? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not.
Me dressing? Oh,
that's on brand.
It would be for me. No, I don't typically dress up. I haven't in several years. I
haven't since my son's
I don't have kids at home. Yeah, I don't have little kids at home anymore. We have a neighborhood party that happens, and sometimes my grandson will come over on Halloween, and we'll take him to that. So sometimes I'll dress up if we're doing that, and he likes to trick or treat in my neighborhood instead of his. So we might for that. Theo, my husband, usually dresses up as either a Star Trek commander, or Zorro, or Spider-Man. Those are his go-to ones. So
all good choices.
Yeah,
all good choices.
Yeah. Awesome. And this is one of the first times Nathan's been home for Halloween.
It is
because he's usually traveling for a quilt market over Halloween and quilt festival, but it was a little earlier this year, so Nathan gets to.
We all don't know what to
his
do.
Grandbaby out, his little granddaughter. Hopefully, you get to see her for Halloween this time.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Wonderful. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate all the comments. Thanks for all the participation. We are excited to hear a little bit more about what you are using, how you're using your Caterpillar projects. With your projects that you've got going on, join us, subscribe, like, and follow on all of our channels, whether that's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and all the other things we've got going on under Caterpillar. And we also have Nook and Notion. And come join us on our Facebook groups as well. So we're excited to see you there. So thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.